Hukars against Les Petits Bouffons coming up next, and me, Ginny, as well as MP are going to be covering this one. Hukars, a roster that we are very familiar with considering they have not changed since they got into Polaris. This time around, a little switcheroo, but we'll get into that later. And they're up against Les Petits Bouffons, who came through the beacons. Now, this one is the one that has talent divided, because we're not sure whether Hukars is going to be rising up to the occasion, which they usually quite well do, or whether Les Petits Bouffons coming out of nowhere is going to have an opportunity to dethrone, I don't want to say Polaris as kings, but if anything, they do represent the Polaris region quite well, having a full Danish roster here, MP.
I mean, absolutely. I think Hukars, they are kind of equal to Polaris already. I think they're like the whole Polaris region are already accustomed of this name. They know Hukars. Obviously, Bodork, if you follow him on Twitter, you should, for good leaks.
Oh wow.
Especially yesterday, there was some good leaks towards Pavlos, one of our casters, so you should go check that out. But obviously, Hukars, they are already a staple in this league. You know these players. Ratsky, the new addition into this roster, obviously a great player, but look at all four of them. Just great individuals. And one of the best things that I like from Hukars is even the mentality that they have going in game and the interviews we had from David.
Yeah, I think like all in all, Hukars, as you said, a staple. We know what they're capable of. We've seen their performances. They have a couple of changes this time around, and we're going to be diving into that a little deeper as we're going to be heading over to an interview. For that one, Ginny, we're here on the interview with David from Hukars. So first of all, welcome back. Second year running, and last year specifically was quite successful for Hukars, finishing third. So how are you building off of that success here in 2023?
Hello, thanks for having me. I mean, last split was good. We hit the third spot. I think this year we're a way stronger team individually and as a team as well, like in fundamentals and strategics. I do think though that the other teams this year is also a bit heavier, like way stronger teams in like the overall pictures. While last split was mainly like there was like two contestants. That was like the teams to beat if you wanted to win. I feel like this year there's more than just two teams to beat.
Yeah, but I feel like you guys are also a little bit of a team to beat considering how strong you were last year. So you had 6 months really to focus on improving. So what has the last 6 months been focused on specifically?
The last 6 months has been focused on fundamentals and strategies with our new coach, Andreas, who has helped us a lot with like the fundamentals, communication and stuff like that, because we were basically just a team of friends who ran out with one strat on each map and just played defaults every round. I mean, we got to a third place with it, so can't complain, but can always make it better, right, if you actually do it 100%. So that's what we've been doing.
That sounds really, really promising, because last year already a force to be reckoned with. So looking forward to how these changes are impacting the dynamic of the team. But I think also another change to highlight here is Sunshine, no longer with you guys at Hukars, but instead is Ratsky. So he was with Hukars, left, he came back again. So how is that integration looking? How is he fitting into the team again?
I think Ratsky is a very good team. I mean, back when we split, I think it was a good decision for both us and for him to improve as a team and improve as players, because there was just something lacking back then. I do not think that is something that is lacking anymore. I think now we're a very strong team, and I think Ratsky fits very well into the team, both personality-wise and gameplay-wise, and what he brings to the table, which is exactly what we needed in the team. So I think it's a perfect fit.
Okay, I feel like you guys are really setting up the expectations. I know in terms of the predictions for talent is like 50-50 at the moment, but I'm looking forward to see what you guys are bringing onto the server. So good luck today, and maybe we'll see you for another interview. Maybe, who knows? I mean, go on Twitter, we gotta check. Need to do a little bit of calculations there.
Yeah, thanks for the vote. Yeah, good luck. Thank you. Bye.
Okay, I don't know if it was 5-4 when it comes to like the predictions, but I know that I'm a little scared now, because we already saw how strong Hukars was, and that was just based off of fundamentals alone. That was without even taking into consideration the fact that I had a coach, but now you add a coach to that mix, and it's like, oh, my prediction does not look safe at the moment.
Wait, did you actually go Le Petit Bouffon?
Yeah. Yeah,
okay.
I'm a traitor,
I mean,
unfortunately.
there was a lot of people going with Le Petit Bouffons, and there's definitely a reason for that. I mean, you probably have some bias because a lot of UK people in there. Almost
Happy
the whole
birthday,
roster
Russ!
is actually... Yeah, good shout there. Happy birthday, Russ. I actually had that down in my nose, but I didn't remember. Good that you did. But yeah, almost full 5-stack of UK players. Vong is the only one not from UK, Norwegian player there. Actually, Brody got replaced by Vong when he moved to Ascent. He used to be a full UK stack, but amazing players through and through. Cray, Russ, Link, even LUZUH. Amazing experience from these players, and Vong just stacking up that roster, the X-Focus player.
Yeah, and it's going to be a question of, is Russ going to get that birthday buff? Because he's the birthday boy. So we're going to have to wait and see that. But first, let's jump over to another interview, because this was done with Les Petits Bouffons once they got through the beacon.
The beacon circuit was, I don't want to say relatively easy, but it was something that we felt like we kind of cruised through, going to Epic LAN and then winning the online tournaments afterwards. I wouldn't say it was much of a struggle.
We went into the qualifier with 0 days of practice, so when we were going into the qualifier, a lot of it was on the fly.
The E-Masters game that we ended up losing was definitely down to the fact that everyone just came back from breaks, but as we could see later on in the tournament, the tide swayed and obviously managed to win later on in the tournament.
Link's still alive on the Frenzy, and Cat, what can he do on the Reyna? It's got to be the Link show right now, and he's got 4.
E-Masters didn't have a chance against us in the second time round. After the experience that we'd gained together throughout the officials and the little amount of practice that we had, I just knew we were going to qualify in the end.
We also saw some cheeky tweets that they put out before, and that, you know, thickens the skin, that makes you want to win some more. And we had to come back and just show everyone that we may have lost the first game, but we're not going out like that.
Limpet sticking the whole way through. The shots are connecting. And E-Masters. Vong, you can find 4.
Qualifying to Polaris was always the goal. Ever since that first event we played, that's been the goal in everyone's head in this team.
It helps us reach a broader audience, and people finally see that we're a team that needs to be taken seriously, and hopefully organizations are more interested in us now that we have something to play for.
I believe that VCL Polaris is, if not the strongest, one of the strongest VCL regions that there is. We have a bit of time to practice now, which we didn't have for the qualifier, so with the practice that we're going to have behind us, I believe that we'll match up really well against a lot of these teams, and all our aim is going to be to get into playoffs.
How quick is the retake from Le Petit Bouffons? Big recon there, big kills being found. It looks like we might be going towards a map 3.
We learned through the qualifiers that no one deserves respect, no one we should play against deserves the respect. So we're going to go in with severe lack of respect. We're going to face, we're going to get aggressive, we're going to show everyone that, you know, we're not a team that to be messed around with. We're going to come in here and we're going to take the spot.
If we can do what we think we can do, then we're going to be a top contender for this league.
Yo, no respect. Okay,
Yep.
I like that. Nobody deserves respect, but I think that's quite a big statement to make. I mean, to be fair, they are going up against Hukars, a team who's also not very known for giving respect to other teams. If anything, what we've seen from them last time around against Excel and Tundra is they're happy to go in guns blazing. So when you get 2 of these headstrong teams, I'm looking forward to see how that's going to play out on the server, MP.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And I think that's a great approach in a sense of giving no respect. But then again, when you go against teams like Apex and even right here, teams against Hukars, you have to give some sort of respect. You cannot go guns blazing into the war. You just have to focus on it. But I think Le Petit Bouffons, I think they have it down to the T. It seems like they're a really strong team, but I'm still expecting a lot of things for Hukars. They should have their synergy filed in. Ratsky is back in the mix. It seems like Ratsky was the kid that got sent to the college, and now he has graduated from Sentinels College year of 2023, and now he's back in the mix. And I'm happy to see him there.
Yeah, graduated college, he's a big fish. But he's also potentially one of the players that we should maybe be watching here today, MP?
Yeah, and I mean, Kick said it in VLR. Ratsky is going to drop 63 kills, and we have the evidence right here. Look at that.
Yo,
Kicks confirmed, VLR confirmed. So, I mean, that has to be true, right? Is it going to be in 1 map, 3 maps, 2 maps? Who knows? Kicks just confirmed it.
I mean, listen, if Kick says it, then it has to be true, right?
Absolutely.
But speaking of maps, like to be fair, if I was his teammate, I would trust him with my life. after what I've seen yesterday. But speaking of maps, and however many maps we could potentially be looking at today, I think it's also going to depend on the maps that both of these teams are going to be feeling a lot of comfort on. When we're looking at Petits Bouffons, we have a little bit more information, considering that they did qualify through the Beacon. But then when we're looking at Hookars, their last competition was in June.
Yeah, they were playing like these small tournaments, well, like home ground qualifiers. One qualifier that was in GLUZUH Valorant Clash, but it's not something that you can kind of pick on because you only played like few matches, and especially for the second tournament, that's only when you had Ratsky in. For the first tournament you didn't, and that's like 3 months ago, so it's not a lot to go from. And Le Petits Bouffons, I think they have a great map pool already. They have great results, especially in Pearl and Fracture. So that's something to look out for, and especially for Pearl, I'm happy to see whether we're gonna go for there.
Well, are you going to be right? Fracture, Ascent, and Pearl, 2 out of the 3 maps that you just mentioned have been chosen. And we're going to be starting off on Le Petits Bouffons' pick, and that is going to be Fracture. Now, Hookars, traditionally on Fracture, we haven't seen them too much in the last couple of months on there, or generally in Polaris. But Ascent, this map just keeps crawling back in every single one of these matchups.
Yeah, and let's just say Hookars, they traditionally do not have the best track record in Ascent. I think the best part of their Ascent was like really early last year, but if you take like first few months out and we skip into March, Hookars, they're looking kind of hard in Ascent. I don't think they have had the best, but obviously they have had 6 months time to prepare. 1-7 was the scoreline that they had in last 9 months of the year. That's kind of unfair to just pick out the first 3 months, but still, like Ascent, it doesn't show that many good signs. But it's also not the best map for Le Petits Bouffons.
We said the same about Bonk yesterday when they picked Haven, and we were like, yo, Bonk, Haven doesn't really work out well. They don't have that good track record. The best thing about them on Haven used to be as seen on the race, getting control, whether that's in Garage, whether that's on B-side, using the nades. He was really good at using the satchels as well. And then yesterday we go on to Haven, Bonk's pick, by the way, and they exceeded expectations, to say the least. So considering the fact that Hookars, yes, initially they don't have a great track record on Ascent. We have had 6 months for them to prepare. They also mentioned they have a coach now, which again is also going to be quite instrumental in terms of getting them to, deviate from only fundamentals and going more into that strategy. So I'm looking forward to see what they can be pulling out on Haven, especially because when we're looking at Le Petits Bouffons, they have played in the last few months. So we can have a feeling. And Hookars has an opportunity, if anything, to do a little bit of VOD review here.
Yeah, I think Anders right there pointing it out. He probably has the feeling of what they're gonna go for, and he's probably prepared these guys for a really, really good matchup. Double kill choice coming in through again. No surprise that Ratsky is gonna go for it. Hype. Hold up.
Yeah, it's swapped. The logos from Le Petits Bouffons and Hookars are swapped, so it's Hookars, they have Mishu on Jet, Akimbo on Omen, Ratsky on the Killjoy, Masked on Sova, David on the KO. David on the KO, though, I expected to see him on the Jet.
Yeah, but look on the other side. You have Foxy, Hero, Hype, Severa, Magic. This is, not the team of Le Petits Bouffons,
No, that's not Le Petits Bouffons. No.
I wish Foxy was back in our region.
Yeah, Foxy, we miss you.
Abandoned us. Feels bad, man. But maybe one day he will be back. I hope.
Madness. Yeah. Oh well, he's doing great things. I feel like a lot of people from Polaris are doing great things. I'm proud of everybody here. Okay, we're a little community. But yeah, I'm not sure if those agent picks are correct. So I don't know if the issue is just with the names or if the issues are with the picks. But is this a traditional Fracture comp that you're expecting to see?
I think it might show the meta that we have right now of getting kill choice in Fracture, especially after the new patch where Breach Aftershock, it doesn't kill the Killjoy lockdown, so you can fairly easily place it down under there. And if you don't have KO, you can have anything to counter. And I'm actually not quite sure whether the KO fragment goes through that all the way to underground. So that could be a perfect sentinel to have. We see a lot of ciphers as well coming through in Fracture. So definitely something to look out for. Vipers, I think that's going to be something that we're going to see. Harbor, I hope we're going to see, but I don't think this early in the season. No one's going to pull it out. You haven't had that long time. Maybe Who Cars,
Never say never.
Maybe Who Cars.
I feel like every time you say it's never going to happen, it happens. So I feel like you should not say never going to happen. I think they're looking at this matchup first on Fracture here. What's really important to take into consideration is Who Cars, their track record as well on Fracture has not been that great. So in that regards, how are they going to be performing against a team like Petits Bouffons, who actually don't really have a coach? Oh, there we go. We now have the picks. David on Chamber. Yo, wait, what's up? LUZUH on Chamber too?
Wait.
Hold on.
And the part where Petits Bouffons not only has a chamber but Cypher alongside that as well. Double chambers coming through. Yeah, I think chamber is viable in Fracture. I think you can probably play it as an anchor on side and just go for picks on the other side. But I wasn't expecting this still. No killjoys either. And I think killjoy might be the meta rolling in deeper in this meta. But I don't know. Chambers in for both of the teams. Double Sentinel for the side of Petits Bouffons.
Yeah, I mean,
technically double duelist.
Double duelist, yeah. I mean, the Raze though, the Raze, having the Raze available, it makes a lot of sense. You have that nade, you can clear out tower, you have satchels, displacing is very easy. You're able to go up on ramps, clear that out with your nade. So all in all, I think a lot of these plays are expected. It's just seeing masked on the breach rather than on the omen. Something's changed, you know? Yeah,
and double control on the side of Who Cars. No Viper coming from the side of Petits Bouffons. It's not necessarily in this necessary in Fracture. You see a lot of Brimstone solo controllers, but when you have that Omen, I think the Viper is almost a must. And I think Omen was popularized by FPX again. Angel was so good at holding this A main down, but I don't think it's that good of an agent in this meta anymore because you don't have the one-ways in A lobby. Petits Bouffons entering the site already.
Yep, on site already, and Ratsky does hear some footsteps, wants to go out for the peek, and it's gonna be a little scary, decides to back off. But that's the nades. They are not stopping. This is the disrespect gaming coming out from Petits Bouffons, the absolute special to say the least. They do not care. Ratsky's holding his ground. He doesn't want to be moved as of yet. That's so much space gained by Petits Bouffons. They haven't even got the plant down yet.
Yeah, they've been at the site for like 50 seconds. That's going for the duels. Russ, the birthday buff. We're already talking about that. No real utility left for the side of Petits Bouffons. That aftershock is gonna force Russ to plant onto default, and the retake commences.
I mean, the retake commences on Who Cars, though. They're already down one member. And as much as, you know, Petits Bouffons said, Link was like, we're not going to give them any respect. That's exactly what we're seeing so far. And it feels like Who Cars are struggling a little with this extreme over-aggression. Mask does manage, though, to get to himself a little bit disrespectful, if I do say so myself. Russ does find the pick. That leaves only Akimbo left to fend for himself, but he has two players to be dealing with. Both Link and Ross, they're incredibly low. Goes for the defuse. Paint Shell still available. He's not even had a chance to get his halfway. But Link doesn't want to call his bluff. He eventually does do so. Akimbo has to let go of the spike, but there's no time. And with the spike going off, Petits Bouffons secure themselves that first pistol round.
It's so close. Link just in time. And he actually sells Russ completely. He's like, okay, Russ, you're probably gonna die, but I'm gonna nade right after, dealing so much. He's able to just deny that defuse. Play so much time that when he pushes in, Akimbo just has to take the defuse out and can't stick it all the way to the end. No time. And a good round start from Petits Bouffons, going for a double rifle. Bulldog as well.
Oh, yep. And there you go, Vandal. Gets that first pick. Disrespect Gaming has been activated once again. It feels like they're just going for these dry peaks, and Who Cars as well. potentially, like, you noticed their aggression on that first pistol round. You know they're going to be coming in with a buy. Maybe don't get too overzealous too quickly.
Yeah, Ratsky trying to capitalize off close range duels with that classic, but no one's finding the smoke. Le Petit Bouffon, they have control of almost every part of this site, but the instrumental part tower is not controlled good. Oh, even better than good.
Akimbo plays off of that util, gets 2, gets a third, another one added. Just keep him coming, he says. He's holding on to this tower like it's his precious life. It's relying on it, but goes for a little bit of an overpeak against Vong. LUZUH finishing off Mats, who's trying to get that defuse through. That was looking scary for a bit for Le Petit Bouffon.
Absolutely. And then, just because of that, I don't think Le Petit Bouffon, they could actually invest here. They could go for 5 rifles. It's an insanely good damage. Akimbo just awake. Popping every single head. Not quite enough in the end. And Le Petit Bouffon, they force. They want to go for those rifles. I think it's a great call. It's the right call because you have money. You have almost equal amount of utility and armor.
You have that cash to splash.
Cash money.
Okay. I was gonna say something after that, but I decided that I want to keep the cringe levels to an absolute minimum. Which I already failed at, but that's okay. You fail and you fail again.
Yeah,
and then you fail
don't
again.
learn.
Yep, exactly.
Especially when we talk about cringe levels. They stay high.
Okay, calm down.
Nay.
Nay, okay.
Bilingual? Lingual?
4!
that was awful. Le Petit Bouffon looking for the side take, hoping it's not as awful as my language knowing.
That's okay. Your knowledge. Knowledge is power. And for now, for Le Petit Bouffon, they actually are playing this a little bit slower than what we've seen initially from the pistol round and from that bonus round. But Link is still walking into the util of their team, and it's a Cypher Cage. It's gonna give... the fact that David just sprayed that blows my mind.
Yeah. And it's crazy Cypher Cage. Oh, Mishu, that's a Kobe and a half, but Wong has to deal with Ratsky. Does he? Absolutely.
Of course. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. But now Russ, birthday buff deactivated. I guess if the birthday buff is like you're over 25, then I don't really know how old Russ is, but there's no. They are actually going to be sticking it, and Hookars are punishing Le Petit Bouffon for a little bit of that over-aggression that we've seen. Pushing too quickly.
Yep. Brimstone Molly lineup is there, but it's too late. I don't know how David... How do you verify that? It's Race Cypher Cage, so you're not even gonna get the indication of that sound. And David is just like, yeah, there's probably one. And instantly pre-fires on the spot where Link is exactly, not even all the way to the corner. It's little off. Amazing. Le Petit Bouffon, they're set back. They have to save because they forced so much. It wasn't even a bonus round, it was a fair gun round.
Yep. And now they have to play with classics. And LUZUH has the Headhunter. But is it gonna find any heads? That's the real question here. Yo, David is like kind of dancing on that box. Look at that. Look at those feet. Sorry. I got distracted. Yeah, Happy Feet is a movie. It's Little Penguin.
I should watch that. Should I?
What?
Should I watch that?
Yeah, of course you should. It's
Okay.
a piece of culture.
Sure.
You don't sound convinced.
LUZUH would be one away from that tour de force. If he can find a pick.
Yeah, that's all he needs. But there's two players, so if he goes for David, he's gonna find the barrel. But he's gonna miss that first shot. And with Akimbo activating the Poison Cloud, he even gets that safety net to be able to get back.
Yeah, and David is not gonna be happy for that. Mishu, on the other hand, getting 2 kills on the board.
No safety net on A side for Le Petit Bouffon because it's Mishu's crosshair there.
Not. So much utility to deny this plant. Wong has orbital strike for the post plant. It's gonna go down. Mishu, Ratsky. all of Who Cars, they're here to deal with this retake. Vong is there to start it.
Let's play.
Vong gets a pick himself, and that is the Rolling Thunder being invested. All players are being displaced. LUZUH finds the pick with that tour de force. Ratsky does manage to cut down Rust. Those are the flashes they've been able, but LUZUH with a tour de force. That's all they needed for this thrifty round. 3 picks on the board. Mid-levitation. That was Ratsky. I'm so sorry. If I was you, I would be sad right now.
And this all started from a slight mispositioning here from the side of Akimbo. He doesn't spot LUZUH until it's too late. LUZUH will get the tour de force. Ratsky, great play. Trying to make an amazing play, but doesn't quite capitalize. LUZUH is so quick with it. And now I see why he picked the chamber. It's like the second duelist. I'm not quite sure which comp to call this. Double duelist or double sentinel. Mishu.
Oh, Mishu's getting backed off, but still the paint shell connects with Link. That's the danger of Raze in a map like Fracture. It's all these close corners getting that showstopper once again. Another nade thrown at your face. I would be scared too if I was Lipti Bouffons. I would book it. Like, it doesn't feel like Mishi wants to give that up.
Absolutely not. That's exactly what they want to do, because they don't have the rifles to compete. Yeah, Ratsky has a Vandal, 1 Guardian on the board of Mishu. They have to go make some aggressive plays with the utility Akimbo once again in this position. Doesn't David spot that?
Yep, he does, but just a hat, the tip of the hat. He gives Cypher like not even a haircut. He just ruins his hat, but eventually does manage to take him out. But that means his position is also given away. So now they're going to be going for that double peek, and Russ is the one to get it. Akimbo and Mishu, they're making sure another thrifty round. This time for Who Cars though. 2 thrifties back to back. Interesting.
Messy start to this match. Sometimes it happens. You go back and forth, back and forth. And honestly, great things from both of these teams already. I think Kukar showing some signs of aggression in Fracture is great.
Yeah.
You have to do that. You have to push even when you're on the defensive side. You have to take control of these choke points, especially A main. And if you don't control that, you have to have some kind of set play, which it seems like Kukars have for the upper side of Spawn.
Link, though, aggressive plays as well. It feels like Who Cars are now fighting fire with fire. You want to be aggressive and get onto our side, that's fine, we're going to be aggressive too. And potentially something that Lipti Bouffons did not expect from a roster like Who Cars.
Absolutely not. 3 players on A side. Petits Bouffons is going to pressure this. Only 3 players for them as well. Just trying to get some control. Link coming in with the raise. I'm actually really glad to see Link on a duelist role. Something that we have to point out. This guy has played 7 different agents in the past 60 days. Good picks for Petits Bouffons.
7 different agents, but the crosshair stays the same. They land on everybody's forehead. Petits Bouffons reeling in the numbers. And Akimbo is not going to clear that corner. Cray, though, gets a little bit of a, I want to say, free upgrade. But that means Neural Theft is now online.
30 seconds left.
And Masks literally cannot hide anywhere.
No, he cannot. Cray is there to finish. Petits Bouffons take a 2-round lead. But Who Cars, they're able to full buy this round. It's going to be a full on-gun round. None of these funky half buys where you go for aggressive pick, you actually find 2, get few kills, open up a site with a thrifty. It's gonna be a full gun round. Finally, Vong with the orbital strike. Who Cars, they have few ultimates themselves as well. Masked 1 away from that Rolling Thunder as well.
Cage triggered.
Somehow this switching it up a little, it feels like A-side has been the main focal point of Lipti Bouffons, and you're continuously running into Mishu with the race, but as much as they're deciding to change it up, Who Cars has the exact same game plan, and now Mishu is in tower, something that Lipti Bouffons has actually struggled with taking control over.
Yeah, but Mishu is not able to do anything out of that utility. Masked, he used the fault line with the combination with Ratsky's paranoia, and nothing gained for the side of Who Cars. Now they get the control back. There's no one at bench. Just because Petits Bouffons, they give it out. They know that there has been already a lot of utility invested for the side of B. Then they're gonna go for the gamble on the A side. David?
Yep.
The trademark on crop is gonna get some information.
Misha yet to find anyone, but is now gonna be able to spot out LUZUH. Gives away that location. But that means 3 members from the side of Who Cars are situated onto B site when there's only 30 seconds left. Link getting onto that side with the showstopper is not going to connect as of yet, but it does give enough space to determine that it's absolutely empty. Misha wants to go a little aggressive, but gets punished for it immediately. The trade does come through from the side of Who Cars. But Petits Bouffons, they've planted. And with the retake of the smokes, wow, that looks like an artwork. Sorry.
Patterns of Wong, Orbital Strike. If all of them group up here, this could be detrimental for Who Cars.
Press button, and everybody goes up in smoke, but they don't need the Orbital Strike because they have Link, they have the paint shells. Make that 3 picks already. Akimbo does find 1, but Cray joins the party. And the Orbital Strike is saved. Petits Bouffons securing another round.
Looks really good. Link getting few kills there, getting that confidence down as well with the race. So important. But LUZUH, I think he has been a really annoying part of Petits Bouffons' attacking side. Who Cars, they have no clue where LUZUH is roaming. And when they spot him, they go for 1-for-1. There's still 2 players on B side, which means rest of Petits Bouffons, they can just freely execute onto A side and get that control. And Who Cars, they don't have players to rotate because LUZUH has brought so many players onto him. There's 3 players who are kind of concerned about this guy.
Timeout comes out. I think this is expected from Who Cars initially because of how strong they started off, and they were able to fight Petits Bouffons' aggression with that aggression. But Petits Bouffons no longer relying on that aggression to be their winner, and instead, last round, if anything, they've played it incredibly patiently, and it's now more of a mental game.
Yeah, it looked like they wanted to go for a slower default there, which was really good because they knew Who Cars, they had played few of these aggressive rounds, especially in A main. They can do a lot of set plays on the defensive side. Petits Bouffons, great call on that previous round, just to go a little bit slower. This time around, it seems like B is gonna be the target. Mishu, Mask, gonna be the 2 players left on B side with low weaponry. Only few Seraphs in hand. Not gonna be easy.
Nothing about Polaris is easy, honestly.
True.
Every game has been such a back and forth between these teams, and as much as it's beautiful to watch, Mishu's gonna need himself by accident. 34 HP.
Yeah, if the enemy can't clear that box, let's help them out. Why not?
Yeah. I mean,
I
you don't
think,
help out. You don't help out the enemy team.
Sometimes.
Reported.
Damn, there was no winning there. David is gonna be the front line on A main. Headhunter in hand. He has the TP behind him.
Oh, the flash is gonna force David away, actually. And so that means that aggressive position that Who Cars was holding, getting that early information, potentially an off angle, a possible pick, gone down the window. But as much as they're pulling Who Cars towards A, Petits Bouffons, they are going back onto B.
That's a good pick on the link, but
Russ.
Russ falls asleep.
Oh, he doesn't actually manage to pick off Mishu. Well, then now they're gonna be facing each other. Eventually does get that pick. Plant is now also down. And now they're gonna start working on closing off the potential rotations, making it difficult to rotate from CT, closing out Canteen, never mind. LUZUH is the one that's being put down instead. Because at the end of the day, this is still Who Cars. They still have incredible firepower.
Yeah, but only 1 rifle between 3 of them. Good stun, fault line coming through, but it doesn't quite capitalize anything. Wong still with the orbital strike, they can delay so much, and it's most likely gonna be used. Molly on spike as well. There's not a chance you can defuse. And the orbital strike forces Masked out of the spike. Wong, 1 versus 2 situation, but I think the spike is sticking. Yeah, there's no time. Wong even cleaning it up.
Ooh.
Mask! No!
Just a little slight edge. Oh, that's a tilter.
That definitely is.
That is... frankly, though, Hookars on that round made it so difficult. Yes, one rifle in between the three of them, but they still made it so expensive for Les Petits Bouffons. They even forced the orbital strike, which clearly something that Vang has only been teasing when he wasn't entirely sure whether or not that should be committed. So, hats off to them.
Yeah, absolutely. But Les Petits Bouffons, they still have great economy. Even in terms of ultimates, I think the rotation coming through for the side of Les Petits Bouffons is really, really great, because now that you have used the orbital strike, Russ already has his ultimate back. The Rolling Thunder is the... Hello? Oh!
Correct!
Oh, what? No!
What? Excuse me, sir? Can you check him, PC? Because that is not okay.
What? That is definitely not allowed.
Did not just happen.
That was a great setup. Mishu just holding that small angle. I was like, what is he doing? But just holding that small angle, so when he spots Gray, the stun comes through instantly. But it doesn't matter. When you're in breach, fault line, when you're stunned, you shoot better in the head.
Yeah, it's a buff.
Absolutely. As a ex-breach main, that is definitely a thing. When you stun enemy, they just shoot heads. I don't know, it's a crazy thing. Oh, Ratsky.
I mean, Ratsky gets the breach out, so Russ's Rolling Thunder is not available at the moment for Les Petits Bouffons to use onto the site. But instead, Masked makes one pick, but that's all they're gonna get. Link immediately with the trade, and now we have David. Still has the operator in hand. Akimbo still alive. It's a 2-on-2. But with the spike down, time is on Les Petits Bouffons' side.
Yeah, operators on both sides. I think LUZUH has his sights in tower. And around this rope, yeah, he's gonna get... Oh no! That's a miss! They get a lot of free space off of that.
Oof, David! He is quicker to the trigger! LUZUH and Link are being both put down, and that is another round on the board for Hookars. David living up to the hype, living up to the expectations, and I guess showing why Chamber is potentially still an okay pick.
Debatable, but I think
said
it's more
potentially,
David.
And I said okay.
Yeah. still, I debate that. Just what, Cray? What? David being really solid with the operator. That's probably gonna settle more rounds in these last 3 rounds that is gonna come up in this half. This David operator is gonna make a lot of nerves for the side of Les Petits Bouffons. You can get a good control of one of these mains, one of these sight lines. Maybe even get a pick. LUZUH?
Okay. We're all holding our breath. He's gonna fire a little too early. It's gonna force him out of that position. And Link is going straight back at him. Link has a little shorty. And does find a big LUZUH though. Making sure it's equalized in terms of the numbers. Is it a shorty? Is it a shotty? Can we call it a shotty?
It's a birthday.
Shotty little baddie.
Russ? Russ has a perfect position.
No,
No way!
Absolutely no way did he have enough time to take his Vandal back out, click on Mishu's head. Ratsky does get the trade, but that was not okay.
Last player standing.
Rolling Thunder allows Hookars to get onto that side. Russ finds Mask, and there's still 2 players to be dealing with. Ratsky needs to decide, does he go for the defuse? Does he deal with Russ? Does he deal with Cray? Too many angles to be clearing at the same time. He knows where they're hiding. He's aware of their positioning. He's gonna isolate the 1v1. He gets to pick on Cray. Russ is the only one left standing. And that is going to be the case as Les Petits Bouffons secure their lead even further.
Russ securing out that round. 7-3. I think Les Petits Bouffons, especially looking at these ultimates, that showstopper should be really important in this upcoming round. Maybe not even having to use that, because Hookars, they can't buy in this round. Akimbo having that Viper's Pit, but probably not gonna invest it. I don't think there's a reason. Les Petits Bouffons most likely getting that 8th round on the board, but Hookars, they have already won one of these eco rounds. Vong?
Nah, not if Vong has anything to say about it. If it's up to Vong, they're not winning a single round after this, and this is going all the way to 9-3. Ratsky, though. Frenzy finds a pick, finds another. And again, Vong to the rescue, making sure that it's basically impossible for them to close this out. Akimbo with the Sheriff, not fully aware of the positions. He doesn't know what site Petit Bouffon wants to commit to. Therefore, he's just gonna have to risk it, go on an adventure, walk around, and find them.
Yeah, it's so important that Wong is the guy who gets those kills. Orbital Strike back online again for the upcoming round. They can have 4 ultimates. If they get a single pick, Craig can get the Neural Theft down. They can combo it with so many of those ultimates. Sure, you still have this round to go. But Akimbo with a Seraph in hand against 3 players. I think Le Petit Bouffon, they have been pretty disciplined already in this map, in this half. I don't think they should be able to lose this one. And the trademark even to dodge out Akimbo. They're gonna know exactly where he comes from.
Yep. I mean, Akimbo can try. This is the hero play that he has to go for. You can also just try to die to the spike, not give them that orb, but he is obviously going to get spotted out. He could potentially pick up a Vandal and go for that save, but there is not much that Akimbo can do at this point. He has the Vandal here. Yeah, I think this is going to be either a die to the spike angle or a save the Vandal. Yep. To be expected here.
Yeah, I think it's a good save. I don't think Akimbo is going to get enough though. It's just the drop a rifle to
last
Mishu.
round before the switch.
And no, Mishu having to go with half shields, no Roomba. They have to scramble for this buy.
The question here, the thing here though, is for Hukar is the fact that this is going to be that last round. Their economy is going to reset. They're going to have a chance at it again. But for Le Petit Bouffon, that pistol round, it's going to potentially be the end of it for Hukars.
You want to play? Let's play.
Yeah, but only in this map. Le Petit Bouffon.
Yeah.
They have picked this map. Russ gets stunned, gets taken out instantly. That's a good round. Showstopper.
Okay. It's not going to connect quite yet.
Shadows traveling.
Russ is not in the picture at the moment. That is the flashes that Le Petit Bouffon is relying on to potentially get onto site, take it out. That is really good from the side of Hukars, especially now that Mishu's taking a pick himself. LUZUH, though, with Sword of Force is doing damage again, and I'm so scared of this one. Eventually, the Showstopper is going to be coming out, but it's not going to connect quite yet. LUZUH opening doors, looking for more picks. The Tour de Force, he's hungry, wants to close this out.
Erling ready with the utility. Orbital Strike forces Mishu in an awkward position, but they know exactly where he is. They get what?
They're raining Hellfire. Le Petit Bouffon ready. And Akimbo again, the only man left standing, was onto that B site, anchoring, has to come out with that rotation, and he gets not tagged. That looked like it was gonna tag, but it didn't.
Once again, missing a free shot there. You cannot lose this. Oh no, the utility in hand. Just wanting to invest that Viper's Pit, but beautiful 3-2-1 pick from Le Petit Bouffon. Both players picking at the same time. And you know what time it is. It's 3-9 curse.
Actually, it's 1, 2, 3 focus.
Ginny?
Yes. Wrong team?
Never mind. All good, all good.
All good. I'm really sorry that you have to put up with this.
You know, who cars? Actually.
Oh, wow.
Le Petit Bouffon?
I want to apologize to everyone listening to this on behalf of everyone who's involved in this game, that you have to listen to this man.
Let's make him dance.
And me.
Yeah, I think it's fair to point out that you have to apologize for both of us.
Yeah.
And not just for you.
Yeah.
But
because I'm
anyone
the sure one.
who is British or know about tea, how do you get the spice thingy, the tea bag, to go all the way down?
Spice?
Isn't there no spice in tea? I think there is. LUZUH?
Tea leaves. It's tea leaves, man.
Okay, sure.
There's also no Akimbo in Hukars because that's gone. But this is Le Petit Bouffon just playing it aggressively again. Look at that nade use, setting up LUZUH for the possibility to push this in. Mishu's already taken down a half HP, but still with a ghost. Him and David are making it so difficult. Russ eventually does find the peak himself, but he's blinded too. He's gonna go for that reload, looking to move around. Ratsky has to go for the reload himself on that classic, and it gives Russ the perfect opportunity to take him out of the equation. David is left, but he's not a force to be reckoned with. He's not gonna give you this territory for free. And Link with the boombot, only one left, has 2 places to clear. Is aware there's a player in Canteen, but not fully. He's gonna be able to peek. Sees Mass, but he's distorted, he's displaced. A fault line is so difficult, the time is ticking, and his Link gets the first. David still has to be dealing with, but he knows he doesn't have to peek this, and that it still goes for it. Hukars win the pistol round, starting off the second half stronger.
4-9. Hukars, they really needed that. And that fuels my energy for 3-9 curse. Yeah,
No.
sure. Do we bring out the statistic
11%.
once again? Yeah,
11%.
11%.
Isn't that what you got on your last exam?
Yeah.
Isn't that why you dropped out of college?
I'm actually not quite sure if I passed my last exam, because I dropped out before that.
Wow.
But
Oh my god, do you know what my final grade was on my bachelor's?
what's that?
My bachelor degree?
Isn't bachelor like the guy who is like a single or trying to get?
Oh my goodness.
paid?
Okay, kids, please stay in school.
4-9. LUZUH has been on fire with the Headhunter, but been missing. It's weird because LUZUH has been missing those easy shots with the third force and operator, but the Headhunter seems to be doing good work. But David is so ready.
Yeah, he has a Vandal as well. Again, the strategy coming in with the Vandal from both of these teams. Oh. Mishu. They're not giving Lipsy Bouffons an easy time, but again, that's to be expected with this buy.
Yeah, it's gonna be tough for Le Petit Bouffon. Only classics. Actually, one frenzy on the side of Russ. There's not much you can do, especially in this long line of sights. When you're going for the peak, it's always gonna be far away, and that's what Hukars are gonna be heavily favoring because they have rifles. Even those Spectres against pistols in this range, it's gonna be so good. But Russ, maybe just looking for those exits.
Could potentially get a couple, but again, the Hukars is not going to give them the opportunity to do so. 2 players left. But again, when you're looking at Lipsy Bouffons, they already have a certain advantage. They're going to be coming into that next round with some of the buys. Yes, Hukars is allowed to hold on to all of their rifles. It's flawless.
I think that's one of the first that we have seen
Yeah.
in this league already. Like a flawless second round. No way. It's
Yeah, 'cause
always been
usually-
like one gun lost or something.
Or you lose the round. And the Vandal.
Exactly.
We've seen that too.
And it's not the easiest thing to follow. Le Petit Bouffon, they get the rifles. Bonus round coming through for the side of Hukars. They actually have quite good
Yeah.
amount of guns here. Vandal, Bulldog, Guardian. Those can do wonders. And if they get Mishu in like tower, in great position, that could be so scary with the retake against the Spectre. But the Cypher traps are there. You have to deal with those. Oh, just over them.
Oh, Mishu's gonna have to get forced either into that snake bite, into tower. LUZUH is already waiting. Utilize the juice so perfectly to force them into each other's crosshair, and with that, the blink of an eye, Akimbo once again the only one left. Ooh, second a bit of a molly. Has to jump out still, 55 HP left. And Lipsy Bouffons, they're turning up the heat.
They absolutely are. And Akimbo is feeling that heat under his legs. Trying to barely survive, 55 HP. I think he's looking for an upgraded rifle. Yeah, Bulldog is decent. No shields. You should probably go for a Vandal or the economy damage. All of Le Petit Bouffon players there. 100 HP with full 25 shields. But it seems like they're not covering... Oh, never mind. Trademark is there. I thought they're not covering this arcade position.
Yep. I mean, they're gonna be spotted out immediately. Even though if they were not covering it, they still have 3 players left. So Akimbo can try and do some damage, maybe take away a rifle or two, but he's gonna be walking straight into LUZUH. Ooh, that gets dangerously close. Yeah, 10 HP, but double digits here.
Le Petit Bouffon, slowly but surely, trying to secure this map on the board. On the defensive side, I think it could be really, really hard to close it out. Especially when the attackers, when they start getting these sites, when they start getting these executes down. Sometimes it's just really hard to hold a site and just even know where the enemy is gonna go for. You have to kind of gamble where you want to push, where you want to control. This time around, Le Petit Bouffon going for that A main control. Pretty basic. But David, operator in hand, holding this aggressive push.
Link also elevated a little, so an off angle that potentially Hookars could not be expecting. But this is down to Hookars. This is Hookars' game to win. When we're looking at Le Petit Bouffon, this is their map pick. They look comfortable. Oh, the timing!
How does he even time that? I don't think there's not a side for camera. Meanwhile, Akimbo gets taken out. On the other side, that's the Viper gone out of the round. Yeah, you have that. Never mind. You don't have that double controller anymore, Radsky.
Nope.
Gone as well. And Mishu just looking for an entry. Looking for Gray to overextend into tower. But there's no reason. There's a trap there. If you jump over, Gray knows that you're in tower. It's doubling up into our gate. And I think Hookars, they might be even waiting for a save here. If they don't get a pick, it's going to be hard.
Yeah, that B-side looking like they have to get onto it as soon as possible. Cray, though, has a cage available. It's going to have that audio cue if anyone decides to push through it. Instantly taking Mishu out. So tower is a little bit more safer than it initially was. Mask does manage to get the flash, but flashes himself as well. It's going to still capitalize off of it. Cray taken out. That is a Cypher no longer available. LUZUH with the trade, and that's David with the operator. He has 4 more members from the side of Le Petit Bouffon to be dealing with.
Yeah,
and with only 5 seconds on the clock, it's not looking very likely.
Absolutely not. It's all down whether David can actually save this operator or not. No! Don't call.
Oh, Spidey senses tingling. I think they're making a little bit too much noise. He's going to be able to hold on to that operator, but looking at the economy of the rest of the team, it's not the best.
No.
Yeah, the timeout coming out.
Should be Hookars' side.
Yeah. I think that makes sense.
Yeah, it could even be Le Petit Bouffon's timeout, and I think it would be great still, just to try to close this down, because you have that Rolling Thunder.
Mm-hmm.
You could make some plays, but should be Hookars' timeout, David, with the operator. They could do some damage with that, but you have to have some kind of control of the site already. I think Mishu maybe Mask buying Mishu a Stinger, or Mishu even getting a Stinger here, would maybe help them getting some control of the site, maybe get a pick, and get David in a position to actually utilize that operator. But it's still gonna be so hard for Hookars in this timeout, or in this upcoming round, rather.
Yep. Le Petit Bouffon, initially, they hit the ground running. They just played it so aggressively, and throughout this entire game, they have been switching up the pace. They go aggressive, then they go a little slower, aggressive again, and it feels like once Hookars starts getting accustomed to one way of playing, one style of aggression, they switch it up on them immediately, and then Hookars, as a team who has just adjusted, need to readjust again. And they're struggling to do that in a quick enough pace, which is why we're seeing a 6-round difference at the moment.
Yeah, and Hookars is going all in. They're forcing everything into this round. Bulldog, Rifle, and couple Spectres. I respect that. I tip my hat to Hookars. And looking at the players of Hookars, the stats, they were all, I think, in between like 2 kills. The best had 12 or 13, and the last had like 10 or 11. Mishu. Oh, Le Petit Bouffon, they have pushed so deep already. Off angle is nasty.
Cypher camera, ready to catch up any players as well. David is going to be making a little bit of noise. And this is the thing, right? Le Petit Bouffon this time around, they're happy to play this
Out of charges.
as safely and as patiently as they can. And as I say that, Vogel already gets the first pick of the round.
That's a good pick. Even though Wong wasn't quite ready, that mystery is so deep, pushed already. 3 players in sand. Can't quite go forward. Yeah, there's the Cypher trap, and Cage is covering Masked. Really good pick, evening out the odds.
Yeah, Mask getting Cypher out of the equation. I think that's huge for the side of Hukars. But LUZUH with the collat. He makes it 1 for 2. He's alright losing his teammate. Cray is fine to be going down. He can make sure he can make up for it and double. David with the operator eventually.
Oh, what?
LUZUH. 2 picks and another 2. That's 4. The man of this round, and with that play from LUZUH, Petits Bouffons are now on match point. This is it. There's one more. The scrappy buy we've just seen from Hukars. Another scrappy buy coming in. This is not looking good.
Yeah, them getting the spike down is a little bit of a relief. Oh no, that lineup is nasty. And we were already talking about also being really good with that headhunter. 25 kills. Look on the side of Hukars.
Wow.
10, 11, 11, 12, and 12. That's so even. On the side of Petits Bouffons, you have LUZUH carrying it all. But
Yeah,
a lot of
LUZUH
support around him as well.
The thing is, we've seen this with a lot of teams where we have certain games where certain players just really live up to their expectations. They step up to the plate. But when we're looking at Hukars, it shows that there is, you know, equal in terms of the amount of kills, but then we're looking at Cray sitting on 5 kills on the Cypher, whereas, you know, LUZUH 25 is a little scary. Aggression immediately coming out from the side of Petits Bouffons. The second that round starts, the utils being thrown around, rolling thunder, and 2 players down already.
Yeah, definitely a worthwhile investment in that rolling thunder. Ratski still has smokes, the Viper is alive. And rolling thunder for the side of Hukars, but they just need to use it. It's coming through. Is it quite enough? Is it gonna even catch LUZUH? No, it's not.
Is it? It's not. They're not even able to play off of it. Yes, they have the rolling thunder, but nobody is following through. They're too scared to get onto the site. Petits Bouffons is in their heads.
Ratski could make some plays. Is there anyone to follow that with? Ratski gets 1. 2 versus 4 situation. Spike in hand. He can just TP on the other side. Get the spike down. Akimbo getting 1 kill as well.
Kimbo's left to fend for himself, though.
So close. What is happening?
14 seconds left, and the Cypher camera is going to be able to tag him out. He does, however,
Oh!
make sure that he uses the smoke, but it's not going to be enough. Akimbo is way too far away. He has to be dealing with 3 more players or get that spike down, but there's not going to be enough time for this. Petits Bouffons win 13-5. First map, their own map pick. By far, this is the most convincing first map we've seen so far.
Yeah, it's the first map. First of the first maps that is not OT. And
Yeah,
amazing
that too.
performance of from Petits Bouffons. I was a believer until that last kill came through, until Cray actually got that Omen down there. It was a good play. Amazing play, I would even say. To get that spike down would be so good. It would mean 2 versus 2 situation and maybe another round, but not quite enough. Petits Bouffons is definitely kings of Fracture in terms of at least these 2 teams.
Yeah, I mean, it shows why they chose it, but also I think the composition in terms of the agents that Petits Bouffons is rolling with here, it's giving them a lot of different setups. So as much as, you know, we saw Cray going back onto that A side to try and reinforce, leaving the Cypher setup onto B, being able to catch out Ratski, who's using from the shadows to be able to rotate onto a different site and get that plant down in the last few seconds. And even though he had his own smoke covering him, Cray still goes for that spray and is still managing to close out this convincing performance by Petits Bouffons.
Yeah, absolutely. I think LUZUH has surpassed my expectations from this guy.
Absolutely.
Amazing performance. I mean, the Chamber is agent definitely to doubt for. He's not the most meta agent right now, but LUZUH made it work, especially in this Fracture. Very good. Just holds down inside. I think the placement where he played was amazing most of the time, and just individual performances time and time again left me wondering what is gonna happen in the next map when we go there. LUZUH, just amazing.
Yeah, and also that chamber pick from LUZUH, of course, is going to be coming out as the MVP. Ratsky on Omen, the new addition to Hukar's here, already proving his worth. But it feels like Hukar struggled with more than just dealing with LUZUH, because LUZUH, the second he gets that Tour de Force in his hand, it's a 4K. And that's concerning.
Absolutely. I mean, he missed few of the easy shots there, but then just going for the crazy individual plays, getting montage kills and just popping off.
It is all about the montage. It was
True.
all planned.
How many montages have you got?
Doesn't matter. But LUZUH, though, I think as much as also we're praising LUZUH, like, we're looking at the team as a collective. All 5 of their players, they have all done incredibly well plays. Like, Vong was getting picks left, right, and center. Russ was doing the same. Same for Ling. Cray was really effective, incredibly effective, may I add, at being the anchor on that B site and using the setup to a T. Even in that final round, leaving his camera to just look onto site so that when Ratsky did eventually come out with that rotation, he was caught out immediately. And I think that is what makes a team so incredibly strong. It's not one player performing really well and everybody else just riding off of the back of that performance, but it's, yes, LUZUH stepped up to the plate. He got an incredible amount of picks, but every single one of the players from Les Petits Bouffons knew their job, executed it, and they're now sitting in an advantage with that 1 map win. With the second one is going to be Ascent. That's coming up next, so make sure you strap in.